I believe it is now.
You were gonna hit me or something.
Okay, everybody mute yourself. Here we go.
You're paying for Go High Level every month. You log in, you poke around, you feel a little overwhelmed, and you log back out. The leads pile up, the follow-ups don't happen, and your CRM just sits there, collecting digital dust. That's exactly why the 14-day Simplified GHL Challenge was built. One action inside your GHL back office every day for 14 days. By the end, you'll know your system. You'll trust your system. Simplify, clean up, automate, build workflows that work when you aren't. Delegate, step into CEO mode. The 14-day Simplified GHL Challenge begins the third Monday of every month. Scan the code to reserve your spot.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Monday Morning Business Foreplay. You guys can all come back on camera. That would be great. I'd love to see your lovely faces. Before we get started, please make sure that you utilize the chat. Drop all of your contact information in so that people can save the chat and reach out to connect with you after today's program. I am Coleen Stubbs. I am the founder of Simplified Go High Level. Let's start over. I'm Coleen Stubbs. I'm the founder of Simplified CEO Systems. I am actually battling the flu this morning, so fun to be here. I would not miss this for the world. I actually really like our guest this morning, Mr. Oleg. We've become great friends since we met probably, I don't know, probably a year ago. As our commercial was saying, today is the third Monday of the month, which means that today starts the 14-day Simplified Go High Level Challenge. What is the challenge about? Let me tell you that the challenge is my 3-step framework to building a business that works when you aren't working. That's the key. That is what all entrepreneurs want, is to be able to generate income while we're off living our very best life. So that starts today. If you scanned that code, then you'll be able to join us for that. If you did not, Ashley will be dropping a link in the chat so that you can still join us. We will be going live at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time today to kick this off. This is self-paced. It is one action inside your Go High Level back office every day for 14 days. One action that is going to give you confidence and clarity in your system that is running without you. I'm excited to have you here today. As today's guest, Oleg Moskalensky, is joining us, and we're going to talk about how to go from URL to great video using free Google apps. Oleg's going to share with us how we can do this, why we should do this, and how we can distribute it so that our content and what we create gets seen. Oleg, thank you so much for joining us. Please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you very much. I appreciate. I gotta click on all these buttons first. Okay, everybody can hear me okay, I assume?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm Oleg with PCS, as Coleen pointed out, and PCS stands for Productive Computer Systems. And it's a company I started many moons ago to help businesses do business better using technology, basically. It's the easiest way to describe it. So I help them with using various IT tools, using web, using AI, basically anything IT related is what I do, mostly for small businesses because they need it the most. Everybody else has their IT department, small businesses don't. Today, I'm going to talk about this little process, which is for people like myself, especially, who are not very talented when it comes to creating something that looks nice and something that works well in terms of videos being the most popular media format that is out there. And so a lot of times it's a challenge. I mean, you're trying to create a video, like Coleen just showed a very nice video for her GHL challenge. And that's something that takes a little while. And also it's something that's not that easily done. And me not being a creative person in terms of art, it's a difficult challenge to resolve. So before it had to be a lot of money, talking to potentially multiple people, takes a certain decent amount of time, all these things together. Now with technology we have today, we don't have to have talent if we use these tools, and we can still come up with very good results. So I'm going to launch right into it without too much talking here.
I'm going to tell them something about you first.
About me?
Yes.
I was born in the wrong country and
I
got
love
here
that.
and got to the States about 4.5 decades ago with my parents and basically my closest family, and settled here in Seattle, Washington area, and we have lived here ever since. And I wanted to be a drummer, and so I was totally into music and everything until I hit a game called Snake on the old Radio Shack TRS-80. So I wound up taking a class in computers, and just so I can play the stupid game. Believe it or not, that's the true story. My father will tell you he insisted that I drop music and do something more productive. The real story is it was the snake that did it. And so I took the class so I can play the silly game, and then I saw that I was pretty good at it and really liked it in terms of programming. And that's how wound up being my career for the last 4+ decades. That's the story. There's a lot of details there, but we're not going to go into it.
What about you're the proud father of a
Oh
wonderful,
yeah, two kids. I have
beautiful
two
daughter.
kids, 24 and 22-year-old. And yeah, so definitely very proud father of those two. And let's see, what else
That's
can I?
actually one of the things I really like about you. I know that in our conversations, sometimes you've had interactions with your kids, and I love to watch you with your children. I think that the mark of anybody, like that tells who you are, is how you interact with your loved ones when you're busy doing your business, but also especially the mark of a father, because I think that men are raised to be the provider and that's their big thing and that should always be top priority kind of thing. But I know that with you, while your business is important, you are always kind, courteous, and very caring with your children, and I've appreciated seeing that. I know I've seen that, sub Carl. I'm sure you've seen that in your interactions as well with Oleg, and maybe I'm just a lucky one because I've known you for a long time. So um, but I really appreciate that about you. I don't think I ever had the opportunity to tell you that. So just a
Thank
little
you.
outsider's look at Oleg's world.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah. No,
I
the
won't
kids
interrupt again.
basically, I look at it as that's my purpose in life. Everything I've accomplished, everything I've done, it all pales compared to me having my kids. And that's the most important thing. It's the reason for me to live, in my opinion, is to basically deal with my children. Not always easy, but definitely the most important thing to me. Yes. Thank you.
Very good. I won't interrupt anymore, but dive right into it because this is information I need to know because I am not very creative. I had to pay somebody to make my commercial.
Yeah, and that's totally fine. Obviously, everybody can hire somebody else to do various parts of whatever they need done. Nothing wrong with that. But sometimes the time is still going to be 24 hours a day. Even if you know how to do it, it's something that you don't want to take a long time and you don't want to spend a lot of money. And there are tools now available that allow you to do something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and share the screen here. Um, the screen here. Please let me know if you can see it okay.
Not yet. There we go. I see your LinkedIn.
That's not what I wanted to show you. Why is it showing the wrong screen?
I don't
Let's
know.
try this again. Let's see, share screen. How about this one? It's like it's got it backwards. Does this look okay?
It's not there yet. Just a second. This says Foresight Design Proposal, Mathematically Guaranteed Speed Networking.
There we go. That's what we wanted to see. So for those that don't know, Foresight is my new app, and I do custom applications for businesses, a little additional shameless plug. So I figured for the sake of time today, we'll use that. So I have this basically website that you can see here as the source. Okay. And what in process I'm going to describe today, that's all you need. You don't need to be creative. You don't need to have a bunch of text or resources. If you want, you can use them. But the idea, I did it in the last meeting we had with Coleen. I showed you how to use this program called Notebook. Right now it's called Gemini Notebook, but it used to be called Notebook LM from Google. that allows you to create these deck slides, basically, which are very potent, and you can be, it does a very creative job for you. So this is an example here. I'm going to go ahead and pull up this one that I already created. The reason I'm not creating one right now is because it takes probably about 10, 15 minutes to create one. So I just don't want you guys to wait. But basically, that's what you do. You click, you select the URL, and it'll go through the process here. So you click on Add Sources. So the URL itself is notebook.google.com. Just very simple to remember and to put in. When you click on Add Sources on the left side, for those who don't know, it allows you to drop in websites, allows you to drop in text, Google Drive files, upload other files. You can upload a bunch of stuff you want. But the basic minimum you can put in, you click on websites, and it says paste any links. You just put in one or more links. Very, very simple. Once you do that, then you're going to have options on the right side here that do different things, including slide deck. So you click on slide deck, and then in here you can select what kind of deck you want. If you want it to be detailed deck or presenter slides, and typically I'd recommend going with detail deck. And then length would be either shorter default, meaning shorter or longer. And then you also have ability to put in some sort of custom description. And this is where you can get somewhat creative if you want, or as creative as you want to get. You don't have to put anything in there, but then it's going to generate whatever it wants in terms of the look and feel. So in my case, I usually put something in there based on what things that I like, that other people did. And again, being not that creative myself, I just use some sort of visuals from somebody I like. So I created one of these here, and I'm going to show you what it looks like in the end. So it turned out looking like this. So we get a bunch of slides. As you can see, they look very nice. They also, it puts all the right information. Everything you see on this slide deck is exactly what it is. But you can see, like from this graphic alone, it's very, very compelling in terms of the way it looks, and with something that, in my case, no way I would be able to create anything that looks this good. And in many other cases, people who are that talented, it would take them a long time to create. So it's definitely going to take a lot more than 10, 15 minutes. Okay, so I'm just going slide by slide. I don't want you to necessarily read it right now because we'll look at the video, but the idea being that A, it spells everything correctly now. B, it's got all the relevant information you want to have. And C, it looks gorgeous, as you can see. I mean, in my opinion, it just looks stunning. And this is based, this particular one was based on an artist from the old country. His name was Efremov. They keep showing ads of his stuff. He's passed away a few years ago. And so this is on the right here. You can see what his style is. It's usually a bunch of reds, different variants of reds and blues. He does a lot of stuff at night, a lot of reflective stuff like this. That's his typical style, this image here. But you can see it created in his style, these other images that are definitely his style, but look very different. So anyway, so you create this thing, it creates it for you. That's step one. Okay, you create the presentation. Once you create it, then you have a couple of options of saving it and sharing it. You can click on the share, you can play it like I just did, you can make changes to it. It doesn't have to be in stone. You can definitely change it. So let's say we're all done, we're happy with it. Most of the time, first time you just click on it, even if you don't tell it visual style, it'll still create very nice looking presentation. So that's step one. Step two is you need to pass it to the next application, which in our case will be Google Slides. And the only way you can do that is either by sending it a PDF, which does not accept, Google Slides doesn't take PDFs, or PowerPoint, which it does. So we're going to save it as a PowerPoint. Before moving on to PowerPoint, I just wanted to mention that if you do use PDF as the saving format, then you can use that PDF as a lead magnet. As you can just take like any PDF file and send it to whoever you want. And it'll look basically just a file with a bunch of these screens in there, which also looks very nice. So you can use it as a lead magnet. You can use it as an informational piece to somebody to email as attachment. Share it any way you want. It's very nice. Another thing you can do, for those that don't know, is you can take any PDF, drop it into LinkedIn as a carousel. It'll automatically create a carousel if you simply click on the add document. You click on the plus in the post, click on add document, and then you select a PDF file. It'll actually build a nice looking carousel using your slides. So that's another way to use this approach. But in our case, we're going to use PowerPoint. So I'm going to save it as PowerPoint, and it does it very quickly. And then over here, if we open this up, you can see we have the PowerPoint file here. Okay, we don't need to use PowerPoint. As you can see, it doesn't even know what application is to open it, so I'm not going to double click on it or anything else. I just want to show you that it does create the file. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and jump into Google Slides. And by the way, this process I'm showing you, you don't need to look at the stuff if you don't want to, but I recommend looking because you can see if it did a nice job, or if you want to change anything, things like that. So let's say we want to open the presentation. So we do new presentation, okay, by clicking on this button here in slides, so slides.google.com, and it gives us an option. It says, let's start creating. You can generate one, you can generate image, start from a template. In our case, we don't want to do any of that, so we'll just do any of these things, doesn't really matter. And then when it gets into the actual presentation, what we're going to do is going to say import slides from the file menu. Okay, so that's step 2, we import the slides. It'll give us a choice which slides to import. In our case, we're going to say upload, browse, so we can find that particular PowerPoint presentation, and we're going to say do it. Now, this is something that takes a few seconds, still pretty fast, so we're going to do most of this in real time. The first part I didn't do because, like I said, it takes 10, 15 minutes. This one is pretty quick.
Hey,
So
Oleg, we have a question. Ashley's wondering, can you put your own photos in there if she had a graphic like that she uses for her branding?
You can put any photos you want. It doesn't have to be something. I'm just showing you for somebody inept like me when it comes to creating new stuff. I know it looks good. I just can't create it myself. So for somebody like myself, you just keep going automatically. As I showed you before, there is a way to edit stuff initially when we created it. So if you want, you can add anything you want there. If you leave it as is, then when you come to this point, it says, you know, which slides do you want to import? In my case, I'm going to select all and say import. Okay. Once it imports, I have this first slide, which I don't need. So I'm going to click on edit, delete. So we don't have any junk in there. Edit, delete. I guess you got to select it here. And now we have all the slides. So to answer Colleen's question, I'm not trying to ignore her. At this point, it's just a PowerPoint type presentation in slides, which means I can easily add anything I want. Okay, I can add a slide, and over here I can insert an image. And the image would be the generated image, or from an image I can select from one of my let's see, I haven't done this part, but I'm sure you can, you know, you can either have it generate one or you can select your own. So that's where you put in the picture in there. And we'll just drop one in there just so you can see that you can do this. Anyway, I'm not going to waste time. I'm sure there is a way. Well, already there, media. Yeah, that's so right there. There's the pictures right there, and you can say, you know, which images you want to use, and you just pick the image you want, and it drops it in there. I mean, it's as simple as that. So yeah, the answer is yes. You can definitely drop your own images in there. Okay, let's go ahead and select these two and get rid of them because we don't need them. Okay, so we're back to our slide deck. So we did import all slides. Everything is here in the order that they were created. Beautiful. You can click on any of them. You can go make changes that slides allows you if you wanted to. But I'm trying to basically show you a process where you don't have to do almost anything except for a few clicks. So first we clicked and gave it the URL as a source. We told it, you know, to create the presentation. It did. Now we imported it into Google Slides, which it did in the order and everything the same. Again, if you want to make changes, you can, but you don't have to. You know, we're good the way we are. And at this point, I'm not even saving it or anything. You're welcome to save it if you want and use it in slides or however you want to use it. But in our case, we just put it in here. And the only reason we did that is because now we have this new option called turn into video. So once you have the slides you wanted imported into slides, Google Slides, now you simply select this option, turn into video. And what it'll do, it'll create a video in the one of Google's apps that a lot of people don't even know about, called Google Vids, VIDS. short for videos. And this takes also a minute or so to do, but it's reasonably quick. And so it's going to go ahead through its process. And at this point also it says, do you want to import all the slides? In this case, it selects all of them by default. But if you wanted to omit some, you can just deselect the checkboxes, whichever ones you wanted to omit, so it doesn't include all the slides in the final video. So you have a choice to do this when you import it into Google Slides. And now Google Vids, you also have a choice which ones you want to use or not use. Okay. Now, if we look at this screen, because this is the key initially, it says 15 out of 15 selected, and you can deselect, reselect as you see fit here. Fine. Then it says include voiceover, script, background music, and animation. So if you want all these things included, simply by default it's on, leave this little toggle on, just like it is right now. Okay. And then so with everything being the way it is by default, as you can see, it's exactly what I wanted. All I have to do is click on next. Now the next part here is when it says I'm going to look at every single slide that you have, and I'm going to generate, which is what it's doing right now, text to go with each slide. So I'm not telling it anything. It just generates by itself. You can see it took maybe, I don't know, 5, maybe 10 seconds. And now we have text for every single slide in the presentation. And this text can be easily edited. Instead of saying, welcome, I'm going to say to this video, welcome to this, let's change the video to presentation. Presentation on foresight and so on and so forth. Okay, so I just want to show you that you can change the text if you don't have to. You don't have to, but certainly you can. Okay, you can also delete it by clicking on this little X to clear the script. So it's not like every single slide has to have some text to go with it. But by default, it generates all the text, and you can see it, change it, delete it as you see fit. Once you get done with this part, on the right side it says narration. Do you want to have an AI avatar in VoiceOver or just VoiceOver? So I'm going to give you a little warning. The AI avatar and VoiceOver option sometimes gets screwed up a little bit, so it's not perfect. And maybe they already fixed it. I haven't generated any recently, so they may have fixed it because it would have some little issues here and there. Still would generate it if you do a couple of times, but that VoiceOver, I've never had any problems. But the idea being that you have an avatar, meaning some sort of a spokesperson, if you will, that you can use. And at the time when I initially did these things, and I'm sure right now we'll try it and see, it did not have the ability to select your own. There are other programs that allow you to create your own avatars with your own face and so on. In this case, it's going to be avatars pre-done by Google. So if we click on this option, avatar voiceover, you can see it comes up with Olivia, and you have a little pencil here that allows you to change it to be whatever you want, whoever you want.
The voice you select makes a difference in how viewers respond to your video. The voice you select makes a difference in how viewers respond to your video.
The voice you select makes a difference in how viewers respond to your.
So you can see, you can just hover over any of these and you will see them become animated, and actually speaking, you can hear the voice. Right now you can see Olivia is selected.
The voice you select makes a difference in how viewers respond.
So she sounds like she's 12, so we're not going to use her.
She sounds like a newscaster, right?
Yeah, and but you can see they look pretty professional, different ethnicities. I think they have some different accents too, and also they have some. So they have real people look and feel. They also have some of these cartoon Pixar type characters you can use.
Select makes a difference in how viewers respond to your video.
Okay.
The voice you select makes a difference in how viewers respond to your video.
Notice that lip syncing is in place, so they speak basically. You can see it's just like a real deal, and of course you got these animated.
The difference in how viewers respond.
The voice you select makes a difference in how viewers respond to your video.
And you can see they're all different voices. They're all age related, so it's similar. Like this lady is an older lady, so she sounds like an older lady. So all of that stuff is very realistic. And then you just select the one you want. Let's see which one we're going to use.
The voice you select makes.
Let's use different guy.
The voice you select makes.
Let's use this guy.
In how viewers.
Leo. We'll use Leo. And then we're going to say use this avatar once it's selected. So now we're going to use that. And then it says, do you want to sync text and image animation, timing, blah, blah, blah. So by default, it's yes. And I would recommend leaving it on unless you don't want animations. Okay. So for the sake of time right now, Well, let's do it and see. We can always stop it if we need to. I was going to say that it's a lot faster to create using voiceover only. Actually, let's do that first, and then we'll do the avatar. So if I do voiceover only, and I can choose whichever narrator, here you got these kind of narrators you can use.
The voice you select makes a difference in how viewers will respond to your video. It should fit your video's purpose and style.
So let's use this one, okay? And you know, there are different ones. You can try different ones. Use this voiceover. So now once you made the selection, we're going to say create draft video. And I just wanted you to see how quickly it actually creates videos. Even though I have whatever I have, like 15 slides in there or 12 slides, something like that. It still does a pretty quick job. And so there we have right there. Okay. Now the cool thing here is that if I actually play it.
Welcome to this presentation on Foresight, a tool designed to revolutionize speed networking. We'll explore how to take the stress out of organizing and move towards seamless, meaningful connections. Running a networking session manually is often chaotic. Hosts have to juggle stopwatches, reassign attendees by hand, deal with awkward repeated pairings, and manage complex tech barriers that prevent people from joining. Foresight simplifies.
Okay, we're not going to play the whole video because you get the idea. So as you can see, it sounds very nice. It's got a little background music at the right volume, which it created automatically. So it sounds very professional. At the same time, it's got the transitions where it just kind of moves one slide at a time by default. But let's say, for example, we wanted to do something a little different. So a couple of things. Number one, we can regenerate any of these things by editing the text and telling it to regenerate. But you can see it generates it so fast that, you know, did a great job so far. And each slide, obviously, has got its own narration per the screen we saw before. And then transition-wise, you can, well, first of all, you can adjust the length here by just dragging these things. But in the transition between the slides, you can choose from these different transitions. You have dissolve. And when you hover over them, it'll actually show you what it looks like. You can
I
have
have a question, Oleg. When
I'm
you,
sorry?
I have a question.
Yeah.
I don't want to interrupt, but I also don't want to forget. So when you change the length of the slide there, what does the voice do?
Well, you're going to cut, if you're making it smaller, you wind up cutting the voice off. So you want to adjust both the amount of text there and the slide duration. Otherwise, you're going to cut it off. I mean, they can't do magic like
Right.
you
No,
make
but
it.
if you're making it longer, does it just, what other sound is
Either
it?
either adjust to have more text or it's going to be dead space. It's not like the guy has to talk 24/7. You know, it actually give it a little bit. It's actually better, in my opinion, when there's a little bit of breathing room, so people have a chance to actually take it in. You know, you're
Yeah.
listening and just be. That's one of the things I don't like about a lot of videos. People just drone on and on and on and on. It's like, can you stop for 2 seconds? Let me take a breath. You know, because of the way the video is being edited, people wind up filling the space completely. I mean,
Right, right.
it's
And
a,
I agree, when they pause, then it gives you time, or gives me time, gives my brain time to think about and process what was
yeah,
just said.
exactly.
Yeah, I
Exactly.
agree.
But you have this ability, and like over here, I just wanted to show before I get so rudely interrupted. I'm going to show the you have few little, like for example, let's say it was doing this push thing, you know, right there. But let's say you wanted to do and you can control the speed, you can control the direction, all of that. But let's say we wanted to do a simple dissolve, we just change it to be dissolve, and now when I play it, you know, you can put the cursor back and.
Designed to revolutionize speed networking. We'll explore how to take the stress out of organizing and move towards seamless, meaningful connections. Running a
See, now it did the
networking
nice dissolve. So instead of doing the pushing of the
Right.
slide, it did dissolve. So you can totally, you know, adjust it accordingly. This Vids app has a ton of options. If you look on the right side, you can see we have an option to add, to generate and put videos in here and actually create videos using their VO platform. You can add an avatar at any point in time. You can add voiceovers. You can add music and obviously change music. You can add an image. You can record something new into this video. You can upload files you already have. You can put in stock images and videos in here by using this option, stock. You can add captions of different kinds. You can add text. You can, they have a bunch of templates you can use, so you don't have to start from scratch if you're creating videos from scratch. And put different shapes in there. So all these options are available to you at any point in time in this presentation. So I definitely recommend use the vids for creating videos because there's a lot of options and choices. I just wanted to show you today a very simple way to literally take a URL for a website or a web page, drop it into Notebook, then have that imported into Google Slides, save it as a PowerPoint, import that PowerPoint into Google Vids, using the save option. And then here you just make few of these adjustments if you want. You don't have to make any changes at all. You just click on, the text will be fine. The transitions by default will be fine. Music and everything else is fine. Do it. And it creates the end result. You create an MP4 file, which is, standard video file that you can put on YouTube, put on your channels, put in your blogs, wherever you want to put, like any other video. And so that's the entire process where you go from nothing to the end result video using this. And so if we go back to let's go to new video, and I'm going to go ahead and say, let me see here. Avatar slides to video. Yeah, slides to video. No, actually, no, let's do the process the same way I did before. So if we go back to slides, if we go back to slides, just so you guys don't get confused here, and we go back and create a new slide deck in slides, and start from presentation, and we do the import. And that's not what I want to do. They keep changing these things, and presentation. All right, ignore all this other stuff I did just in the last 30 seconds. So we can fast forward through all of that, select all, import all. And delete this. We don't need this junk. Okay, so we got that. We do our file save, turn into video from file. So that's the key thing, is you get to all your slides in place, then you do the turn into video. It does this little thingy. The reason I'm redoing this, I just wanted to show you again using the same process without going through all the various ways how you can accomplish it using the same approach. And then we'll do the avatar now. I showed you the basic without avatar, show you the avatar. So we're going to go ahead and include all of them. We're going to select, it's going to generate text. And we're going to select avatar and voiceover. Once it's done generating text. Okay, and then we're going to say,
The voice
The voice you select makes it.
The voice you select makes a difference. The voice you select makes a difference. The voice you select.
Why are they so sounding like children?
The voice you select.
The voice you select makes a difference.
Yeah, there we go. Let's use this gentleman. So we'll use this gentleman, and then we're going to say, go ahead and create the draft video. So it's going to do its thing. Again, this doesn't take much longer to create, but it creates a draft initially. So again, you can make changes, whatever, before you actually save the final copy. So you can work with it as much as you want. Okay. What it cannot do is create this thing with lip syncing being perfect until, it takes a little bit longer. So initially you just get the voiceovers as it's creating it's going to still create the actual lip syncing, but this is where it looks like this, while it's creating the lip syncing and the video of the person speaking, that's where it takes a little bit longer, but it shows it to you like this, like it's semi-diffused. But if I play it,
Welcome to this video on Foresight, a tool designed to revolutionize speed networking. We are here to help you.
as you can see, his lip syncing is not in place. And that's because it's generating as we speak right now. Okay. But the thing about him speaking like this, the interesting thing about it is like if you go to like this slide here, you can see he's in the left corner. So it automatically positions the speaker in different parts of the video in different places. If you have a speaking part, he's going to be there somewhere.
Our platform handles the entire session.
Now, the interesting thing about that is, let's say you didn't want him there. Let's say I wanted him here, for example. You can just easily grab and move him. Also, let's say you wanted him to be larger. You just adjust the size of this thing, and now he's larger. Okay, so you have total control over him being there. You can also eliminate him completely, but keep the audio in place, so he's still going to talk. You just, people won't be able to see him. So you have full control over these kind of things having to do with avatars. So let's say I want it to be something like this. So it's kind of symmetrical to this part here. Okay. And so it's going to go ahead and do its thing. So then if I wanted to save it, if I want to say download as MP4 file, let's just let it generate. I'm not making any changes to anything else. Obviously I could, but I'm not. And then we'll play the video. It's only like what looks like less than 3 minutes. So we'll play it. So that's the final step. And then once it gets done doing this, then basically you're done. I mean, you have a completed total video with avatar that speaks, doesn't have to speak with the horrible accent like I have. And you know, it speaks normal language, looks normal, looks at the camera. You know, you end up with a very professional looking video, both in terms of slides and in terms of the narration, with narration that either they created or narration that you create yourself. And it's awesome, in my opinion. So that, and it just took a few clicks in 3 different apps and you're done. So I definitely recommend it. And I think it's pretty cool. So we'll let it do its thing. In the meantime, let's open it up to questions while it's doing it, and then we'll play the video. If anybody has any questions, go ahead.
If you have any questions, just raise your virtual digital hand or speak out. I found that, Oleg, I think this is so cool on so many levels, like so many different parts. I was like, wow, I just love this. So I know too that you are going to have a PDF to share with us.
Yeah, right. I think I sent it to you. Yeah, I definitely can share a PDF. Yep.
Oh, can you just drop it in the chat?
I can drop it in the chat. Yeah, while we're doing this, sure. 1 second.
Does anybody have any thoughts or questions? Does anybody use this way of creating videos already?
We are using Pinterest, Trisha and I. Good morning, Barbara Ringrose of Wow. We're using Pinterest for something very similar, Oleg, and we've been working on that this year, 2026. We haven't actually started putting it together yet, since we've been working on a lot of different things. But this is very, very similar to what we've been doing on Pinterest. I had no idea this was available. Yeah, I'd love to see the finished product of how you go from start to finish. You know, I think my thought process is shorter or better. If you know Holly Holiday, she's like, you know, in 3 seconds, people are making a decision on your website. If people are looking at these short clips, we want to keep them as short as possible as the lead in, if you will, to then, you know, raise some interest. And 3 minutes, are you finding 3 minutes to be that sweet spot?
No, it's not so much that. It's, you know, different people have now Coleen, I can't find it. Different people have different preferences. So in terms of trying to please everybody, it's a losing cause. So some people like to, you know, most people don't like to read a lot. That's kind of common situation. So you want to give them something short. Other people want to delve into more detail, and so they need something a little bit longer. So in terms of any specific time or anything, you know, that's why a lot of, I think, people, what they do is they take a presentation that's a little bit longer, and then they find the best spots in it, the best little pieces, and create shorts from it. So then you're handling both parts of the market where those who don't want to see the whole thing necessarily immediately, they can look at the shorts and see some important parts of the presentation in little chunks like that. And the ones that then if they decide they want to see more, then they can actually see the longer deal. So I think it's best to create both kinds, both short and longer. And also has to do with the subject line and different things like that. So it's really, it's if you're actually running a community, I think the best thing to do is to ask your community members, what would you prefer? Would you prefer a 3-minute presentation or would you prefer a 15-minute video? And if they tell you that they prefer 3 minutes, then that's what you give. I mean, it's really, I don't think there's any kind of science behind it other than different people are different. And if you have a body of people and majority say they want something, that's what you give them. That's my feeling on the subject. But I could be wrong. Like many other things, I could be wrong. But that's what I would do. Just to me, it logically makes sense.
Thank
Coleen,
you.
I can't find it, so we'll have to
Yeah, just
do it
email it to me and then I will email it out to everybody.
I think I have it. So I'll let me look quick and I'll throw it in there.
Okay.
I thought I gave Coleen something.
Carl, do you have a question or a comment?
More of a comment. Barbara, talking about what Barbara was talking about as far as length goes. I've got a video production background, used to work in TV and stuff. And we always had a saying that if they have to buy a 6-pack to watch it, they ain't going to watch it. So, shorter is better, but it depends on the type of video. If it's a call to action on your home page, generally 30 to 60 seconds is long enough. Anything over 60 seconds, they're not going to watch it. If it's a call to action, getting them to do something on your website or to make a call. If you're doing a how-to video, that's a whole different ballgame. That could be 30 minutes, depending on, what it is you're doing. But different videos in different places and different uses need to be different lengths. But if it's a call to action, like a homepage video, or even emailing something out, because we live in this X world or a Twitter world where everything is short, sweet, to the point, and everybody's watching video clips now. So everybody likes things, they want it quick. They don't want to have to buy a 6-pack to watch it. So that's my 2 cents.
All right, Oleg.
Okay, so anyway, if nobody has any other questions, let me see if this thing is playable.
Welcome to this video on Foresight, a tool designed to revolutionize speed networking.
We aren't seeing the screen that you're.
Yeah, I know you're not. I know you're not. And the reason you're not is because it's not done lip syncing. All right. So anyway, in the end, for the sake of time, again, I'm not going to wait till it generates the entire thing, the lip syncing part. So I'm just going to go ahead and play the video so you have an idea what it looks like.
Welcome to this video on Foresight, a tool designed to revolutionize speed networking. We are here to help you move beyond the stress of manual event management and focus entirely on making meaningful connections. Most networking tools force organizers to manually manage everything, from timers and rotations to resolving awkward duplicate pairings. Additionally, complex app installations and account requirements often create frustrating barriers to entry for your attendees. Enter Foresight. Our platform handles the entire session for you. It manages round starts, timing, and automatic attendee rotation, all on its own. With just a few minutes of setup, your attendees can simply show up and start talking. Setting up is simple. First, create your event by choosing the number of rounds and their duration. Attendees join via a browser link. No apps or accounts required. Foresight then takes over, running the event and facilitating fresh connections. We have removed all technical hurdles. With Foresight, there are 0 downloads and no account creation. Attendees just click a single link and are immediately in, ensuring a frictionless experience for everyone. Foresight's smart matching logic ensures that every conversation is with someone new. For events with 16 attendees or more, we guarantee that you will never see a duplicate match. Our shared countdown keeps the entire room in perfect sync. By providing everyone with the exact same live timer, conversations wrap up gracefully, avoiding the awkward interruptions typical of traditional breakout rooms. Put your logistics on autopilot. With fully automated rounds, there is no need to watch a clock or manually trigger transitions. Plus, our flexible setup lets you customize the session length for any event type. Your guests can skip the awkwardness. Because the platform manages the entire flow, they are free to do exactly what they came for. Engage in meaningful conversations with new faces. When comparing Foresight to other tools, the difference is clear. From automatic rotations and timing to the elimination of app installs, we replace friction with a seamless automated flow. Foresight is perfect for conferences and summits. You can facilitate vital, rapid-fire introductions between attendees before a keynote begins, effectively priming the room for high engagement. Rescue your remote teams from silent, muted gallery views. Foresight brings real one-on-one time to your distributed teams, moving beyond passive observation to facilitate genuine, fast-paced bonding. Whether you are hosting alumni mixers or social events, Foresight keeps the experience moving and fair. Nobody gets stuck in one conversation, ensuring everyone has the chance to meet someone new. This is the automation paradox. By delegating 100% of your logistical control to Foresight, you remove the technology from the conversation, leaving behind nothing but pure, unhindered human connection. Experience speed networking on autopilot today. Book a live walkthrough, and we will show you exactly how Foresight runs a session from start to finish.
Okay, so that's basically the video. I just wanted to play it so you guys can see the quality of text that generates for audio, number one. Number two, how the whole thing winds up being end result with transitions and everything else. And, to me, it's pretty compelling, I think. But if you have any other questions, feel free to ask. But that's basically the process. You go from notebook to slides to vids, and if you want to make changes, you can. You don't have to. You can just use the defaults, and then you create an MP4 file, and then you just post it wherever you want to post it. That's it. That's the process. And going back to the comment I think Barbara made about the Pinterest, there are many different ways to accomplish the same thing. I mean, it's not like the only way to do it. It's just this is a very simple way to do it, and it's a very potent way to do it. But you can do things with Canva. I mean, it does a lot of similar kind of stuff. You can do things in terms of videos. You can generate videos using Veo. I mean, there's different things. But the nice thing about vids, in my opinion, is ability to have all these different various parts, such as voiceovers and avatars and transitions and all these different things you usually associate with videos done in the same app. You can actually create a full video if you wanted to directly within vids themselves. So I think that's why I recommend that kind of approach. There's also in terms of avatars, there's things like HeyGen that create avatars, and it can definitely create one with your face and you're speaking, and you can do your own voice. I mean, there are all kinds of things like that you can do, but all of these require usually, they do parts of it, but they don't do the entire thing you'd want to do. This thing does the whole thing. And so that's why I like this approach. Plus, like I said, for somebody inept creative like me, I can just pick the defaults. I don't have to do anything, and it's still going to create very nice looking video. So
yes, I love that. I love that. And I appreciate you coming and sharing that with us. It's always fun to have you on Monday Morning Business Foreplay. I have a couple questions for you. Are you ready?
Sure.
Okay. Before we wrap up, we're going to do our hot seat questions. So first question, what's one thing that everybody in your industry is doing that you think is complete bullshit, and why are they still doing it?
I think everybody's trying to take advantage of this whole AI, wave that's going on right now. And there's a lot of people who are doing it who are, they have no idea what they're doing. They just basically are confident enough to sell bullshit, as you called it, and they try to get through and make some money on it. So to me, that's the biggest problem, is that a lot of people are trying to take advantage because of the hype.
I would agree. And I think that we get lost, that we see a tool and it's got a really neat feature, and so we buy it, not understanding how it integrates with other tools. And then we end up with a bunch of tools that we're not using, but we've paid for. So absolutely the best way is to take advantage of the ones that we have.
Yeah, but by the way, before I figured since you interrupted me a few times, I can interrupt you too.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Before we continue here, I just wanted to mention also that in terms of different tools and stuff, all of these things I showed you, they're all done at no cost. I mean, all of this you can do for free.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. And I think as entrepreneurs, I know sometimes people are like, oh, it's just, it's just $20 a month, or it's just $15 a month. But the thing is it adds up. And so
big time.
Yeah,
big time. Absolutely.
Okay, Oleg, what's a mistake that you made that cost you serious money or time that you kept making anyways because you were too proud or too scared to admit that it wasn't working?
I don't usually make those mistakes, but I did make a mistake with one of the latest semi clients. I thought he was going to be, he wanted me to do a website for him. It's a trophy company. He makes trophies. And then after a month of, several months actually, of thinking with it, talking about it, having meetings, everything else, finally I decided it's just not worth the time or effort. And there's not going to be enough money to make it worth continuing with the aggravation. So I decided to step away and, so I tried to go along for as long as I could. And then finally I just said, we're done. I gave him his money back and turned around and left.
Good, good. Okay, last question. If you could only give one piece of advice to someone in your industry, but it would go completely against the grain, what would it be and why is it worth the backlash?
Don't trust IT people like myself. Okay. By default, just because you don't know something as well as everybody, as well as that person does, that does not mean that you let anybody bamboozle over you. So if people are talking to you, make sure they explain to you what it is that they're offering, what they're planning to do, how they're planning to do it, potentially, if you're interested in that. But most importantly, if they don't tell you those two things, what and how, at least make sure they tell you why. And they tell you why in a language that you can actually understand. And in that case, you can make an informed decision. Obviously, people who are professionals, I can spell GHL. I don't know anything about Go High Level other than knowing the name because I'm not interested in it. I don't use it. I'm sure Coleen can talk about that for months. Obviously there are people who know stuff and people who don't know as much. And so I would say that if you're talking to IT people, AI people, web people, make sure they explain to you what it is that they're offering you if you're trying to hire them. And they don't just go with the concept of, they know more, so they know what they're doing. Don't ever do that. Make sure they explain to you so you understand, and then you take action based on that in terms of moving forward or not. And that way it'll be a much better result.
The thing that I love the most about what you just said is that you give that same answer consistently. And that's so much better than saying, don't trust everybody, just trust me, right?
No, definitely not. I said including me, because
I know.
but I always, you can trust me because I take this approach always in explaining to people why. I firmly believe in it. And also another thing is also in terms of security, make sure that all the information that anybody sets up anything with usernames, passwords, things like that, make sure you have the upper hand and control. So if you need to get rid of these people for any reason, you're able to do it. You still have all the passwords. Don't become a hostage to people who, I'll handle it for you. I'll register the domain. I'll set up the hosting. I'll blah, 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 blah. Great. And then if they leave for any reason, they decided to leave, you decided to let them go, then you don't have the usernames, you don't have the passwords. You basically have no access to your own information. So make sure you always are at the top of the food chain in these kind of situations. You have all the information. And yeah, if they say, there's a way to delegate stuff to other people to handle things on your behalf, you don't have to be involved in every little thing. But at the same time, you need to be in full control administratively. So if they leave, you still have access, you still can do whatever you need. You can hire somebody else and things like that.
Absolutely. Alrighty, this has been Monday Morning Business Foreplay. Do not forget that today is the first day of the 14-day Simplified Go High Level Challenge. I dropped the link in the chat. Oleg, do you have any last words for us? I appreciate all the knowledge you've shared. I think everybody does. We all learn something. Any last words for us?
Yeah, the last thing I would say is, like you mentioned, Coleen, that there's tremendous amount of tools out there with all the hype with AI and everything else, and they could be unbelievably helpful and useful in saving time, saving resources, being much more efficient. All of this is awesome. It is. I love this stuff. I'm not going to lie, but at the same time, keep in mind that there's only 24 hours in a day, and you're not going to know all the tools, and you're not going to be able to use all the tools. So look at it from a standpoint of what it is that you actually need to get done, and see if you can find something that'll enable you to get it done faster, better, more effectively. If you find a tool that allows you to do that to whatever degree in your business, use it. If it's something that's shiny new and you don't really have any use for it, but it's so cool and everybody's talking about it, skip it. Don't waste your time. There's only 24 hours in a day.
Absolutely, absolutely. So if today's conversation helped you to see something differently, make one clearer decision, or take a meaningful step forward, then this hour did exactly what it was designed to do, because clarity creates momentum, and momentum beats motivation every time. Huge thank you, Oleg, for sharing your experience and your perspective. If you enjoyed this conversation, please share it, tag someone who needs to hear it, or invite them to join us next week. Thank you all. Have a great week.
Thank you.